As a follow-up to my last video on the shortwave zenith, I'm going to include a link to this NPR article on shortwave. I'll play a clip of it here real quick.
Shortwave listeners might recognize this signature ID.
National Institute of Standards and Technology time. This is radio station WWV, Fort Collins, Colorado.
WWV is the oldest continuously operating radio station in the United States. It's been on the air since 1920. Its signal provides a frequency standard for receivers. The timestamp is regulated by an atomic clock. But a 2019 budget proposal for NIST would close WWV, WWVH in Hawaii, and WWVB, which syncs up the time for about 50 million radio-controlled clocks, wristwatches, and appliances.
One of the very first things I heard on shortwave radio was WWV when my father would set his watch manually to it from a little console radio in our living room. The state of shortwave radio right now, a lot of the large international broadcasters are dropping out of the scene. It's expensive to run shortwave radio stations. Yeah. But there are surprisingly a lot of stations that are still out there that you can hear. The BBC World Service still broadcasts on shortwave, the Voice of America.
All right, so go check out that article on NPR. I just gave you a few clips of it there if the copyright lets it go through. I will include a link in the video description to the NPR article. This is a 1963 Nordmende Sterling AM/FM shortwave console radio, and the model is Caruso, Coisma, Fidello, Chainsaw, Parsifal, Phono Super. I don't know if I'm reading that right. And I got this from a TV shop that went out of business. And what we're going to do is we're going to try and fix this, and we're also going to do something else interesting. This is going to be kind of a unique video. This radio had the option of being stereo, FM multiplex. You can see at the bottom there's two circles where there's two speakers. And I have a brand new in the box stereo multiplex decoder. It's a Sylvania part that was meant for Sylvania receivers, but it should by all means work in this set. This set came from a television shop that was going out of business, and I don't know if it was a customer decline repairs or customer left it behind, but the first thing we need to do is we need to get it working right. So we need to fix it, restore it electrically get it working and playing. And if we can achieve that, then we can install the stereo multiplex decoder and see if we can turn this from a mono console into a stereo console. It's fully stereo minus the multiplex decoder. It has left and right output, left and right speaker. It's just all there. It's just monoed out. Looking at the SAMs, you can see the MPX out and the MPX in socket. And it has two outputs, two completely separate outputs. EL84. And this right here is our brand new in the box Sylvania multiplex decoder. First thing we need to do is get the radio working right. Now this might end up being a multi-part video, and I don't like to do multi-part videos, but if it gets to be too long. So let's see, turntable. (1963) is the model year, according to the SAMs. Stereo FM multiplex. Does it have the multiplex decoder installed? Anyway, we got looks like a service slip here. Stereo Hi-Fi Center. The date on that 2001, so 17 years ago. Won't go on. Possible problem. Possible power transformer problem. Well, crap, we've seen that before with the Grundigs and had to come up with a solution. Looks like it's all disconnected. Interesting. I only see 16BQ5 there. What is going on here? Where's the power? Oh crap, the tuner tube is missing. Alright, well, according to the SAMs, this one and this one are supposed to be the audio output, so I don't know what this tube is here. Alright, that one is a ECC 85. Here's a look at the drivers. Caruso. I think that's what that says. Anyway, okay, the tube that was in there belonged in the tuner. So there's our FM tuner valve. So we're missing an EL84, which is no big deal. I have the Russian replacements for those. You can buy them by the box really cheap, and they're just as good, if not better. Well, the hell? Yeah, man, like just donate and give back to the kids, dude. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a break from this and come back to it when they're finished grinding the frickin' tree up down the street.
KNX 1070 News Radio.
Message and data rates may apply.
When did it become okay for men to be lazier, softer?
So the FM, the AM seems to be working very well. But that's the audio wide open, and it sounds like it sounds like something shorted, or I don't know. It sounds like something is loading the audio down. Come on. This is a speaker connector right here. So when I put the 6BQ5 EL84 are the same thing. So whatever I call it is what it'll be, all right? So just don't get confused, because EL84 is the across the pond number for 6BQ5. So they had this tube in the 6BQ5, and depending on how that's pinned out, if they powered it up, it could have cremated that FM tuner tube. Maybe that's why the FM is not working. And I believe that these are hard to find, or expensive, or something like that. So if I put the EL84 in this socket, it's extremely loud and distorted. If I put it in this socket back here, it's not distorted, but it's extremely quiet, like the audio output transformer is shorted, or something is shorted loading the tube down. Even if this capacitor shorted, I don't believe it would load it down that much, because there's an 18K in series with it. External speaker socket. I wonder where that is in here. Wonder if that's this. Maybe the schematic shows that. Oh yeah. Never sounded better. I wonder if the YouTube copyright can decode that crap. I don't even know what to make out of these DC voltages. Pin 7, the plate, is supposed to be 290. Pin 9, the screen is supposed to be 235. Pin 1 and 2 should be 0, and pin 3 should be 8. So I'm on pin 9, and pin 9 should be 235. I got 199. See, pin 7 should be 290, so let's go to pin 7 here. I have 142. So what the hell? How is that possible? Unless that tube is just shorted. Pin 1 and 2 should be 0. And they are 13. So either we got a very leaky C85 is, I don't even know if it could be that leaky. Well, the tube could be shot. Let me pull the tube out. We'll see what happens to pin 1. If it goes down, then the tube is oh crap. Stand by. So with the tube out, we have 19 volts there, which would indicate a very leaky capacitor here. C85 would be very leaky. So let's see what our plate did, which was pin 7. Ah, pin 7's come up to 318 volts. So C85 needs to go. It is leaky as leaky can get. So I take and put the tube in this one, and now it's working good. So I don't know what the hell that's about. And it's not distorted. No. Shut up, because you'll copyright me. That's definitely... So let's see, pin 1 on this one is 3 volts. Which is still too high. Let's see what pin 7 is. Pin 7 is... By the way, I should put a disclaimer here that if you're new to this, don't be sticking your hands in this like you see me doing. This 300 volts, it will hurt you bad if you get across it. 216 volts, well, that's a little low, but that bias, let's see, pin 3, what is pin 3 here? Pin 3 is 8 volts. It's right what it should be. But also the cathodes are tied together here, so it probably needs both of them. I don't know, our voltages are a little bit off. So looking at the schematic here, this is addressing the distorted channel with 12 volts on the grid. So if this capacitor is in fact leaky, adjusting this alto control, which is 10 megs, should probably adjust that voltage down to nothing and get the distortion to go away and the voltage to drop. So let's see if that's the case. So we're at 12 volts now. There's the alto control. So that is in fact what's going on. So this thing needs a recap. Some of these radios, these German radios, and those are the 2 capacitors right there. Those 2 wax ones. Some of these, the capacitors don't go bad on, and they don't fail like this one has. Some of these capacitors were good, some of them are bad. These are bad. So now that we know that the capacitors are the problem, sounds really good too. And this is on AM. You know, that tube is barely even getting warm. All right, so what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to diagnose, and we know it needs a recap. We're missing the hell? Aggro, man. Yeah, I don't think that's a tube socket. I think that's either the tube or something's cracked on the bottom. Anyway, I'm trying to diagnose everything, that kind of thing where that way you have a complete list when you go to the store and you hope you get everything. So I'm looking at the FM tuner voltages, and you can't, the tuner won't work with one of these test extender sockets on here, but at least I can see if the voltage is getting to the tube. And I'm on pin 1, I have 206 volts, and they want 220. I'm also starting to smell something burning, like a transformer. Yeah, I'm really starting to smell something burning, like really. Pin 6, I'm supposed to have 140 volts, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I have 2 volts, is that correct? Huh. That's pin 6. I have 1.4 volts, and I'm supposed to have 140. That goes straight through. That goes straight through. Boy, I'm smelling something burning big time here. And my wattage draw is only 50 watts, so it's not like. Wattage draw is 59 watts, so it's not like there's anything shorted. None of the electrolytics are hot. Nothing's hot here. Except I can't see the power transformer. I believe it's inside there. Alright, we have 200 volts coming into the tuner right there. So that would be our 200 volts here. So why is there nothing on right there? Is the tube shorted, or is that resistor open? Alright, I've confirmed that there's only 1 volt here on pin 6. So like I said, pin 6 comes up through this resistor and then through this coil and straight to pin 6. So either the coil is open, that resistor is open, or the tube socket or something's broken. But what, you know, and that's why the FM is not working. But what concerns me more is this burning smell. It smells like hot varnish, like a hot transformer. And the transformers are known to fail in these things. I guess I could get the flare meter out here and get that on it. Alright, this is pretty much what I bought this for. You can see the EL84 is the hot spot there. So, we got a couple hot resistors over here. And you know, that burning smell smells like it's coming out of the tuner. Like if I sniff the tuner, yeah, there's something hot down in that tuner. Look at that. Something down inside that tuner is cooking. Let me do this. All right. So, what I'm interested in is the tuner, which the tube is pulled out, and you can clearly see something is hot as hell in that tuner. So let me do this. I'm going to, let me see if I can do this live. I'm going to turn the FM off. Okay, that should turn the FM off. Let's see if that cools down and goes away. It sure looks like it is. So what's going on is something is shorted in there and that resistor is melting. That's what's happening. So we got something shorted inside the tuner. So the burning smell is coming from inside the FM tuner. That's a good thing. That is a good thing. You can sure see this resistor over here. Boy, is that, wow. Those are cooking. Yeah, there's still a little bit of heat down in there. Well, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the top off of this tuner. So it looks like I have to desolder these two wires. I'd like to see exactly what is glowing and so hot in there. All that scratchy is right here. So that's the inside of the tuner. Let's get the FLIR meter back on it and put it back on FM over here. Here. There we go. Okay, it's getting hotter. Alright, well the resistor that's getting hot is this one on the bottom. See that one there with the purple end? That's the one that's getting hot. That's why it looks like it does in the infrared. So let's trace that out. So this is the resistor that's getting burning hot that's on the bottom of the board. So it comes up to pin 6, which we had 1.4 volts. It comes to this 300 picofarad capacitor to ground. And it comes up to this, basically this air coupled transformer, which is the FM signal out to the radiator up to the plate of the tube. Yes, to the radiator. So that resistor that's getting hot connects to here, which is our 200 volts. Then it connects to this peg on the bottom. Right here, this thing that says 300G, that's that 300 picofarad capacitor. And it looks like it's burnt right there. Is that like a roastalicious area? These are high stability ceramic capacitors, tubular ceramic capacitors. I think it's going to be this. It wouldn't be this because this is a 1 meg path to ground. It could be this. it can't be that. I don't think it's a transformer. I think it's this, the one with the burn mark. These tubular ceramic high stability capacitors are one of the reasons why these radios are so stable, why they don't need AFC. You can just turn them on cold in the morning, put them on an FM station, and it'll just stay right there all day. It's because you could see, look at the quality of this stuff. It's just all really good quality inside this tuner. One of the reasons these, well, the main reason these radios work so good. Okay, so we know where we're at there. I'm going to test the tube. We're going to come back and fix this in another part. I hate doing multi-part videos, but the complexity of these is such that to do a thorough diagnostic on it, it takes more time than most people are willing to spend, and then to spend watching, and then the repair is the next step. This is going to be a multi-part video.
Did you feel it? I'm talking about the excitement over the new BMWs at the LA Auto Show. Frank Notek here to tell you I felt the excitement about the brand new BMWs, including...
Yeah, me too. I love my BMW. Ooh. So how do you... Oh boy. Spring loaded. Ooh. Hear the thump in the idler wheel? Let's see what we got here. Alright, what musical selection do we have today? We have Asia, ASIA on Geffen Records for the copyright. Hey, you can't beat that even with a 2-pound tone arm. Oh yeah. Listen to the dead spot in the, listen to the chunk missing out of the idler wheel here. Hey, you can't beat that. No lube, that's working real nice. Alright, let's try one of these. Walking the Floor Over You on King. I'll get along somehow. It'll sound kind of miserable. What do we have here? On Columbia, Sing Me Love's Lullaby and Hushaby My Baby. Oh, we gotta do Hushaby My Baby. 75. It's like it's made out of porcelain. It's so damn hard. Alright, let me see if I can operate this device here. high-tech modern junk. Well, guess not. Can I put this on 78? That don't feel too good. Oh yeah. No. Oh yeah. Now we're cooking with gas. Come on. Boy, that looks like it's going about 150 RPM. I'm not going to try and flip the needle over because the suspension's gone. God, that's horrible. Do I try flipping the needle over here? Ugh. It's just horrible. Just horrible. All right, if anyone's still out there watching, if you haven't suffered bad enough, let's try this one. It says singing with guitars, whatever that means.
Be back in just a day. You've broken your promise and you left me here alone. I don't know why you did, dear, but I do know that you're gone. I'm walking the floor over you. I can't sleep away, that is true. I'm hoping and I'm praying as my heart breaks right in two. I'm walking the floor over you.
Oh yeah, get on down.
Now darling, you know I love you well. I love you more than I can ever tell.
Why is this kind of fun? Alright, here is something I guarantee this thing has never played, and it will probably cause it to explode. Let's do it. By the way, here's a really neat app that works on Android, and it's free. It was created by a good guy. It doesn't have any ads or spyware or anything in it. It's called RPM Calculator. It's a lot better than a strobe disc. So that's our 45. It's running a little bit fast. Oh yeah. 79. That's supposed to be 16. Come on, drop into... Okay, we'll do 33 then, which is... It's about 1 RPM fast, which is considerable. So yeah, RPM calculator in the Android App Store. It's a lot better than a strobe disc.
Wanna get paid. Don't be throwing no shade. I just wanna get paid. 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 I just wanna get I just wanna get paid. I just wanna get I just wanna get. All
right. Doesn't like the bass heavy records. Not very much compliance when the suspension, the needle suspension's missing. All right, this is the ECC85 tuner tube. So D2 and D7, you know, it's decent. It's not great. Meter's getting a little bit tired in here, but it should work. Definitely, I think if we turn it down to 5 volts, it falls off like a rock. No grid leakage, but it should work. So here's a summary of what we got going on. We have bad capacitors over here, quite possibly bad tubes. We need to start with a recap. Over here we have possibly a shorted tubular ceramic capacitor, or something else is shorted, grounding the plate voltage to the mixer tube to one section of that ECC85. The dial cords are good. The speakers seem good. Both channels work. The controls need to be cleaned. Tubes need to be tested. Tube sockets need to be cleaned, and the solders need to be reflowed, I think, in this area that gets hot right here. The AM works. Should fire up Shortwave real quick and see if it'll get WWV, since that's no longer in the budget and on its way out. I'll do that.
Near Grand Avenue. We'll keep you posted as to what happens with the naked gentleman. Your next report at 12:25 on Logan Davis with more traffic reports more often. KNX 1070 News Radio.
We've got a high-pressure system firmly in control of the area. That means things will stay dry and temperatures...
Ten megahertz.
At the tone, 20 hours, 21 minutes. Coordinated Universal Time. At the tone, 22 hours, 28 minutes. Coordinated Universal Time.
Well, Verizon is dead on. AT&T is way off.
13 minutes. Coordinated Universal Time. National Institute of Standards and Technology Time. This is radio station WWV, Fort Collins, Colorado. Broadcasting on internationally allocated standard carrier frequencies of 2.5, 5, 10, 15, and 20 megahertz, providing time of day, standard time intervals, and other related information. Inquiries regarding these transmissions may be directed to the National Institute of Standards and Technology, radio station WWV, 2000 East County Road 58, Fort Collins, Colorado, 80524.
Okay, in part 2, In part 2 of the Normington try that again. In part 2 of the Normandy Sterlington, we will recap, fix the FM tuner, and get both channels working. A senior listing analyst.
Thank you for holding. My name is Kip. I'm here to assist you with your Google business listing. Am I speaking with the business owner today?
En Irsland vers om er vleesleesber.
No, is
Nijsman vers Marl Blanzeleermler. Siphon vers Marl Blamberleersler.